How many times many of us have said something about someone that person, he or she, were not there. And what we said was not something nice. How many times? We've heard it, we've seen it, and may Allah forgive us all. We have done it ourselves. Simple, straight to the point. This is backbiting. You mention your brother or sister, something they don't like, when it reached them. Basically, something they don't like, you say it, and that person is not there. And if he hears it or she hears it, they don't like it. Whether it is something physical, whether it is something in their character, whether it is something in their name, or even in the family name, anything that is not praise to that person, or anything that is negative, that's backbiting. Very common question. You hear it all the time. What about if it's true? I said this person, let's say, has a limp, or this person does not have a good manners, or this person, whatever I say, if it is true, that's backbiting. Yep, it is backbiting. And if it is false, that's even worse. That's actually slander, which has a clear punishment in the Quran, lashes, 80 lashes, and you do not trust that person who said it. Second, and very common, well, I didn't say it, but you heard it, and you were there. Whether you approved it, whether you were part of it, or you didn't say anything, but you heard it, you're part of it also. So we really have to be very careful. What we say, who do we get together with, and what do they say, and we listen. Why it is a big deal? How many of us will even think, let alone do? If I see a dead animal, let alone if I see a dead human being, I'll go and eat from the meat from them. Nobody can even think of it, let alone do it. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم. O believers, stay away from suspicion. A good amount of suspicion is actually a sin. Now, ولا تجسسوا, do not spy on each other. And now come here. ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا, do not backbite each other. And this is an order in the Quran not to do, meaning it's an obligation. Every order in the Quran is an obligation unless there is an explanation to explain it. Otherwise, that is not an obligation. And then Allah gives this parable to show how ugly is this. أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه. Do you want to eat the flesh of your dead brother? You hated it. Meaning, you don't do this. Why you are doing this? It's very similar. And the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam was coming back from a funeral, and the two companions were saying something negative about the person who died. And he didn't say anything, he heard them. And as he was walking, there was a dead animal on the side. And he looked at them and says, go and eat from it. They said, Ya Rasulullah. And he said, you already did it. Subhanallah. If we only think of this, how careful we're going to be in what we say about other people. Look at the other hadith. يا معشر من آمن بلسانه ولم يدخل الإيمان في قلبه. O you who claim that you are believers with the tongue but has not come into the heart. Remember the heart. The true faith in the heart reflect on my actions and let alone my tongue. He said, you who you say you are believer, but it did not yet lived and entered your heart, do not backbite. And that's another order from Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا عَوْرَاتَهُم. And you do not follow their shortcomings. And then he says, why? فَإِنَّهُمْ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ عَوْرَاتِهِمْ. Whoever follow and search for and look for shortcomings of the others, تَتَبَّعَ اللَّهُ عَوْرَتَهُ. Allah will follow and search, Ya Allah protect us, of his shortcomings. And وَمَنْ تَتَبَّعَ اللَّهُ عَوْرَتَهُ يَفْضَحُهُ فِي جَوْفِ بَيْتِهِ. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gonna, of course Allah knows, but that's a punishment for what I did already. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will follow and search for my shortcomings, he will expose me even if I am inside my home. Everybody in this world, you don't want to be broke, right? You don't want to get bankrupt. What about if I get bankrupt at the day of judgment? Well, there's no banks in the day of judgment. Well, there is, or there are actually. And the banks is not banks of money, it's banks of deed. And this beautiful hadith, listen to this. أَتَدْرُونَ مَا الْمُفْلِسِ? Do you know who's the bankrupt? The person who has nothing? And they said, yeah. المفلس من لا درهم له ولا دينار ولا متاع. The person who doesn't have money and doesn't have any material things. And he said, no. المفلس, the bankrupt from min ummati, the real bankrupt person, the Muslim person who is defined as bankrupt is that person. يأتي يوم القيامة. May Allah protect us all. Think of your day all today. How easy or not easy was the fasting and the salah and the taraweeh and the zakah and the charity. You all did this, alhamdulillah. May Allah accept. He said that person will come on the day of judgment, have prayed, have fasted, have gave charity and have did zakah, and then with it he's gonna come and he has cursed this person, had backbite this person, have said negative things about qadafa, meaning you really talk about people in their honor, and what will happen, right? And also have transgressed against this person. And then the first thing is going to happen. تُعْطَى حَسَنَاتُهُ لِهَذَا. All the bank of the good deeds we are collecting. Anybody we have transgressed against, that these good deeds is going to go to them. We reach a point, may Allah not be you and me, that person will reach a point, there is no more good deeds. So how are we going to be equal? How justice will be done? The bad deeds of that person will be given to that person. Subhanallah. Do we really want to be bankrupt? Absolutely not. Then let's watch what we say. Let's watch what we hear. And let's make sure that we are not of those people with all the good deeds we are going to Allah. It's going to be given freely to the other people. A good point to think when you hear someone backbite you, think of it this way. Allah wants to give you his good deeds or her good deeds. May Allah protect us all.
ولا تخزني يوم يبعثون يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم.